Briefly talk about the most surprising thing and the least surprising thing about the book. First of all, the least surprising thing about the book was that I loved working with Ali and Andy. Great colleagues. We were very efficient in how we divided up the work. We learned a lot, as they both said in this video, from the authors, and it was a pleasure working with them. It was also a pleasure to work with Springer. Very supportive company, and we'd love to work with them again. In fact, we have many stories that we could fit into the second edition of this book that have not been told in this first edition. So we'd like to consider that. We would like to tell you about some of the current projects that we have going on besides this book. Projects I've got going on right now, simply because I am, like my colleagues here, are so convinced that GIS in education is valuable for education and society, and also in students' lives. I'm working on a book called The GIS Guide to Public Domain Data. It talks about privacy and fee versus free, and how do I get data, how do I use data, how do I think about data, how do I critically analyze data and decide whether to use it or not in my project. I've got that going on. I'm also involved with a variety of teacher training institutes, some curriculum development in GIS, and also some research as to the effectiveness of how GIS helps students learn and also helps teachers connect better to their profession.
My name is Ali Demirci from Fatih University in Istanbul. I have been involved with different projects in GIS, and we have been training teachers to become a good teacher, GIS teacher actually, to teach other teachers. And we have learned a lot of things from this process, and we understood that there is a great potential in other countries to use GIS in their secondary schools, because there are still many countries that we didn't know anything about what is going on in those countries. But the book has opened a door for those countries. They are going to realize why GIS is used in secondary schools by looking at different examples in other countries. And also they will learn the importance of GIS. And I'm sure that the book is going to help those countries or those who would like to do something in this area. And then after publication of this book and many other countries, we will see the use of GIS in secondary educations. And we have already talked about the second edition, and I think you know how many other countries are still waiting in line to become a part of the book.
And what we're also hoping is that these authors will be looked on by their education ministers in their countries and by their colleagues as experts